think he's silencing us.
Yes. Shh.
What's the gist?
What is the point?
I don't know.
You're making us wait 2 minutes.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money, here on another lovely Tuesday evening right in the heart of Wailuku Town on the beautiful island of Maui in the great state of Hawaii. And we are here on another lovely Tuesday evening to give you the best of nerd culture news and, of course, good fun and good humor that only we can provide. Speaking of humorous, let's get right to introducing my cast, all right? The cast tonight, of course, starts off with the man we like to call our producer-seducer. He is the producer-seducer. He is the man who takes care of everything as far as this show goes, and he looks pretty sexy while doing it in his man bun. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Kai Kai. Hi, Kai Kai. How are you?
It's still a fucking rock.
Hey, watch your language. Jeez Louise. All right, that's enough out of you. Also joining us this evening, boys and girls, is this guy. He is our man in black. He is also our resident magician that does tricks with playing cards. And he also does dove magic. And if you ever want to know what dove magic is, just ask him. He's also our gaming guru. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Phormat. How's it going, Phormat? Oh, I got to, oh, that's right. I have to do this to you. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, Phormat.
Yeah, you maroon.
There it is. Hey, Phormat's here.
You go and mute us all and then forget to take us off of mute?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gradually
Fantastic.
I'm gradually trying to just
quality of the show is so high.
Well done, host.
Well done. Also joining us this evening, this next man is another kind of man in black.
It's ma'am.
He is our Dark Knight. He's a man, fights crime in a cape, a cowl, and a utility belt, fighting evildoers across Maui County. And let me tell you something. This guy enforces a mask mandate because he has to wear one himself. And he's also very quiet, so you won't hear much from him. Ladies and gentlemen, he is also our horror aficionado and a punk rock superstar. That's right. Batman has his own band. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Gannon. Yeah.
Yay. Greg hates women.
Wow.
First
First of all, I don't. But secondly,
what are you talking about? I'm talking to this guy over here in the window down there.
You read it. You read it. You got to read it backwards.
Oh.
How about? Oh my gosh, you guys are weird.
To what capacity is Kai still producing?
Kai produces. That's what he does.
No, he doesn't. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No,
Except he has a very.
I have the software.
He has a very dirty mouth.
Wait.
Anyway,
Wait.
I just want to embrace the fact that Kai is just a cast member now. He doesn't produce anything.
No, and I have the I have the programs to fix any audio stuff.
He does.
But he never gives me anything to do. So I don't know.
So you're not producing.
Hey.
No, I'm not. I'm more of a roadie.
He produces a lot of things.
Kai,
all right.
Kai, you're a lot more than a roadie. You're a fluffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our next.
But I don't do it to any of you guys.
Our next.
Not while you're
Boys and girls, he is.
As he walks away.
He walks away. He is our godfather of comic books. He is the chairman of the comic book board. He is also the sinister minister of Maui Comic-Con. He is the self-proclaimed comic master. All right? And he is also freaky. He's deaky and he's leaky, and his beverages are quite streaky. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Dr. Leaks Alika. Hey, thanks, Alika. Appreciate it. Thanks for getting up. Awesome. Yes.
Greg, do you even try
he's
new
like
material?
So glad you could make it.
I can't
No,
wait
he
for
doesn't.
the comic books.
Before we get to the comic books, of course, as you know, every single Tuesday night we go live simultaneously on Facebook, of course, on YouTube and on Twitch. And
you know what
see,
simultaneously means.
you can see on our ticker down below our social medias. It's facebook.com/NERDWatch, Twitter at NERDWatch Nation, Instagram at _NERDWatch, on Twitch at NERDWatch808, and of course on YouTube at NERDWatch Nation. Okay, so you can watch us there, and you can also comment, which is great. If any comments are in the chat, of course, we can put them up on screen if you're watching us live, and we'll react to them as well right here live on the show.
Pretty good, G.
I hope Kristen. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Like you said it all, and I thought you memorized it all, and then I realized you were just reading it off of the ticker tape.
Reading right off the ticker tape. It's all right there, buddy.
Well done, man.
Anyway, boys and girls, let's get right to it, shall we? Because we got to check in with the freaky one, the leaky one, the doggone deaky one, because every single Wednesday is new Comic Book Wednesday all over the world. And what is life without comic books?
All over the world.
So let's find out what is new this week in the world of the comic books.
Try a different accent.
Books. That's what
not that accent. That sounded really racist.
That's my Swedish.
All right.
All right.
Can
Anyway,
I start the list?
Sure.
Bequest #1. That's with it says Freddie Williams II. So that's the artist from Batman, TMNT, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. Also, wait, what else is Freddie Williams? He's on a lot of stuff actually recently, but. Moving on, Black Knight, Curse of the Ebony Blade, #1 of 5. That's a Marvel book.
What is that?
Black Knight was a character that nobody cared for, but is apparently cosmic. So,
He's cosmic now.
well, that's who Jon Snow, what's his face, is gonna be in the MCU. Is Black Knight.
That's right.
Black
I almost forgot that was supposed to come out.
And it used to be
Shout
a
out
really
to
good.
Susan in the chat. She says comic book list. See you in an hour when Alika's done.
Here comes the troublemaker.
Black Knight used to be an excellent pinball machine too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
really?
ironic that the Black Knight has an ebony blade as well.
Yeah.
Why don't they call him African American Knight?
Well, don't say that, but
Wakanda Knight.
I just think it's a little redundant. Or maybe they didn't want to be redundant. Yeah. Black Knight with the black blade. What?
Yeah, that would be a little redundant.
But he's not. He's actually having a snack.
Here, does he want this?
No.
What if he was the
He's
Ebony
actually
Knight with the
eating the
black
apple
blade?
stuff.
Okay.
You know, these
Oh.
Benji interruptions on the show live are all so cute, Alika.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
better than me reading the list, right?
Apparently.
You
Give us
should
more
have
Benji.
Benji read the list.
Hey, yeah,
Um,
Benji read the list.
We're going to be here a lot longer.
If Alika needs a minute, I can do my rendition of November Rain right now.
Oh, good.
Captain Marvel #27.
Captain Marvel.
Hey, Alika, Kirsten does have a question, and maybe you can talk about it later in the list. But is Future State over? She asks.
The main part of Future State is over.
Well, no, there's a few other books coming out that
There's
belong
a few.
to
There's a
State.
few more books coming out, but the crossover event is over, and they're going into regular titles now. Moving forward.
Yeah,
with
the
DC.
new thing is whatever that Frontier thing is, right?
Infinite Frontier.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are curious, Kirsten is a good friend of the show. She also has a great podcast with Cynthia, of course, called Masters of the Obvious.
Oh,
Very
Did
cool
you
show.
see who their season 2 first episode guest is?
Wait, did they announce it? Because I don't know if they announced it.
Yeah.
Well,
Kirsten blew it up on her personal. I don't know if we're.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we shouldn't say then if that's
Don't say
Well,
it.
Kirsten's watching. Let's see if she gives the okay.
I
don't
know
wanna say
it pops up in the bottom, then we can say it. But it's
Is
major.
it Paul Rudd?
I don't
bet you
want
it's
to
Paul Rudd.
her.
Is it
What-
Paul Rudd? I'm sure it's Paul Rudd.
Without giving it away, you're not gonna want to miss it.
Oh yeah, she
Kirsten
said on
says-
her private one. No.
She says on her private one. So
Yeah.
Alika,
All right.
don't burst in that
Don't
bubble.
miss,
Oh man,
don't miss the first episode of season 2 of
I
Masters
can't
of the
wait for
Obvious
Paul Rudd.
podcast.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Screw it. I will say what it is. It's me.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
that's probably
Wow.
not true.
Your
Wow,
Paul
you've been trying to
Rudd?
get on this show for a long time.
All
Wow,
right,
good guess.
all right. I'm gonna finish the comic list since I
Well,
can't spoil
Kirsten,
anything. fun.
so to answer Kirsten's question, Future State is not necessarily over. Correct? Is that right?
So actually, I mean, Future State's over. The bulk of the crossover, the 2 months where every title is Future State, that's over. There's going to be a couple of Future State comics coming out, namely Future State Gotham, which is going to be a continuation of some of the Future State stuff. But the characters from Future State who've been introduced are now going to have current timeline storylines. Like the next Batman is going to have a Younger Days.
Right. So essentially, Future State is done, but we're left with what Future State caused.
It's
Mm.
it's
Like
not
that's
completely
now going on.
It's not completely inconsequential. Like the rumor mill was going. They were saying Future State was just dumped. They were just going to dump it for 2 months and then not do anything with it afterwards, which is not true. We're left with some characters from Future State that are still going to be sticking around. So
Can I decode what Kirsten's actual question was, if I could?
I
She
answered
wants
it.
to know. Oh, no. She wants to know what
Wait.
Zach's.
Are you mansplaining what she was saying?
Yes. If I
Yeah,
could,
of
just
course
really
he
quick.
is.
She wants to
Oh,
know.
great. Here we
She
go.
wants to know when Zack Snyder's Future State is coming.
No, I'm pretty sure she didn't ask that. I'm like
Well,
100% sure she didn't ask that.
No, the important question Kirsten asked is Phormat in a space shuttle right now?
she did ask that. She did ask that. I guess it's because of the
I guess
angle
yes.
format. Yeah.
Where's your?
I'm waiting
where's
for
your-
liftoff, but I
where's your
won't
quote?
have that until I find out if it's Paul Rudd or not.
Is your co-pilot a monkey?
Quiet down, Chim Chim.
Jim, quiet down, Jim.
Dude, that dude's famous.
Anyway, so what else is there, Alika? On this comic book Wednesday this week.
Headlopper number 15. That's an Image book and
Sydney's brother.
Yeah, no. That's pretty good though. That was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sydney, Mr. Headlopper, and Sydney
All right.
Lopper.
Actually, I was gonna try and turn that into a sex move, but I guess it's her brother too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Format
Beautiful.
wins on that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Invader Zim Quarterly, Zim's Greatest Plan, number 1.
I can't believe that that's still a thing. I really can't.
They just recently had a movie on Netflix too. It was actually really good. So
That's incredible.
congratulations to Connie Vasquez on remaining relevant.
Wow.
Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, 3 of 6.
What a great name for a movie.
Iron Man number 7. That's Alex Ross is doing the art on that run.
That's also a great name for a movie.
Jim Henson, Storyteller, Tricksters, number 1. And it's the Peach Momoko cover. So she's a super hot artist right now, and you want to see
You pick
her
up at Starbucks.
art. King in Black, Spider-Man number 1. Marvel number 6 of 6. That's another Alex Ross. Basically a continuation of his Marvel's work in different eras. Radiant Black number 2. I can't read this title, but I
Why
want
not?
to.
Read it. Do it.
Because it's Shit Show number 2.
All right. I'll let that go because it's the title of the comic. That's
It's
fine.
written on paper, so I'm allowed to say it.
Okay.
I'm gonna write down a bunch of stuff on here. Then,
Wait,
and then
but
start saying stuff.
wasn't that the name of this show that we were pitching for a follow-up season?
Yeah. That's for next season.
Spider-Woman number 10.
Nice. Oh, number 10. I didn't realize she had an ongoing.
Thor number 13. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ongoing number 115.
Wow.
That's almost record breaking.
Did you know for you, Alika? Did you know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a dedicated channel on Pluto TV?
Yeah, I've been watching it. Pluto TV is free. It's on PS4, Xbox, whatever. You can download it. I highly recommend Pluto TV exclusively if for nothing else. They've got great taste. You got a Ninja Turtles channel, you've got my vote. That's all I gotta say.
The Pluto TV is without a doubt probably the best free cable anywhere that I think
Yeah, I
it's
was
fantastic.
impressed. It's pretty close to a regular TV viewing experience. So
It
And it
is.
works on Earth too.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, only Earth 2?
Only Earth 2.
That was pretty good,
So,
again.
Trials of Ultraman, number 1 of 5.
Ooh,
Wow.
Ultra
new
Mega.
Ultraman book.
He's a
Ultra
lawyer.
Mega by James Heron, number 1. It's a name in the book.
It's Law and Order, but Ultraman.
Yeah. And X-Force number 18.
Why does that sound interesting?
Yeah.
Ultraman Law and Order. Why does that sound so interesting?
Chung chung.
That sounds like a real thing, though.
It does.
And there were people who wanted the 50th edition of the Overstreet comic book price guide. I've got quite a few coming in. It's the Todd
Weirdo.
McFarlane cover doing Spawn and Spider-Man for the first time ever on the cover. It's a historic Todd
I got one of
McFarlane
those.
cover, so I'm going to have
Fantastic.
more of those in. If anybody needs any, just hit me up.
It is a gorgeous cover. It's worth having.
Oh, I'm also getting a reprinting of We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 1. It's the 5th printing, and that is a huge hit success comic. So, and it's a great premise. So I highly recommend it. We've got that coming in too.
Cool.
And that is your comic book list.
There is no separate DC comic book list this week.
Ooh.
You know, I didn't
DC
get the
doesn't make comics.
Yeah, they're done. I didn't. Usually, I get the shipment on Tuesday. I didn't get it today, so I'll probably be getting it tomorrow, I guess.
Fantastic.
Kirsten, unshare the screen.
Yeah, totally
make
unshare.
no guarantees. I do.
Absolutely not. Well, thank you, Alika. Of course, you can check out Alika, if not at his shop, online, of course, on Facebook.com at Maui Comics. And, of course, Maui Comics and Collectibles on Facebook. And then, of course, on Instagram at Maui Comics. So if you're looking for a book or if you're looking for
You can find
a
him at
certain
his
graphic
house
novel,
at
Yeah.
no. Oh, okay, never
What's
mind.
that format? I forgot my address.
J-Sai Universe says, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, J-Sai? Kirsten in
Whoa, we
the
have
chat
someone
said,
watching on.
do you carry any Conundrum or Mad Cave?
I actually don't know what that is, and I apologize for my ignorance, but I am always willing to learn. If you can, I'll have to Google those after. Google exists. So
Conundrum
I'll do that
sounds
on my own.
familiar, but not Mad Cave.
I feel
I'm
like
pretty
I've
sure
heard
I've
the
seen
term
Conundrum
Mad
in your
Cave before.
store.
Yeah.
I feel like we need Todd for this one.
Terminal Pumps. Nice.
Terminal Punks is Mad Cave. And she says
I
she's
have
doing
that.
it.
I have that book. I had to order it online because Lika doesn't get books like that.
If you give me the heads up, I'll get them. I love independent books. I love carrying them, and I've actually got quite a stockpile at my house that I got to work on getting into the comic store. We've got kind of limited space right now, but I am actually working on moving some of that stuff in. We're gonna get some of Shelley Bond's Quarantine Project, which is a really cute book. You know what?
Kirsten finally says something that I completely and utterly agree with when it comes to comics. I've said this before, and Todd gets mad. Image isn't even an indie publication anymore. I agree 100%.
It's like when Epitaph Records calls themselves an independent label.
Well,
Yeah.
They have records that sell millions of copies.
I agree because of the market share. I mean that, but you got to appreciate the fact that they have a setup that's supposedly supposed to, or does, give the creators a way to hold their rights. I think that's definitely in the spirit of indie comics, but their scale is definitely not there, like massive,
Right.
To be
That's
fair,
like saying Nintendo is an indie publisher
Yeah,
you're an
yeah.
indie
Yeah.
developer.
because Microsoft and PlayStation or Microsoft
Although you
and
got to
Sony.
appreciate some of the things that Nintendo does, So
Right, of course.
Of course. Who
I don't
doesn't?
have to do anything.
you
Only
have
cartridges in the game.
It's
to.
true.
You especially, Gannon.
Oh, come on. I was raised on Nintendo. I'm just joking.
I know.
Kirsten said Boom isn't as much either. That is true. Boom is not. I mean, when you get
No,
Keanu Reeves,
it's kind of, well, I think Image over Boom just because, and I'm not putting them down for doing this. They have to survive. But
Because it
same
would
like,
get stolen.
same like IDW is they kind of have to live off IP. They have to license properties and do comics based on those, which stuff that sells like Power Rangers and they do a good job with it. But it's like the indie stuff they have is great. Lumberjanes is on Boom and they're great. But
any word
hard.
on a premiere for that, by the way?
Same like Dark Horse. Dark Horse they were like only licensed properties, it seemed like, for a while,
Carl
And then
Amato in
Disney
the chat
took
has
them
a
away.
question. He says,
That's
"What
a
makes
that's
an
a good
indie
question.
comic?"
What makes an indie comic? Is it the spirit of being an indie, like a snobby douchebag? Like that's an indie comic, or
So Todd.
yeah, is Todd's
Yeah.
an indie comic, right? Todd's an indie
It's
comic.
anything that's not made by a major studio or a major publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
well,
basic way to answer that question.
IDW.
Yeah.
Kirsten brings up.
and she says, and we'll take her word on it. IDW is good to work with, so that's cool. I mean, and they're all in the spirit of independent publishing, but obviously these companies all have huge market shares compared to the big companies. They kind of register on the map. So, is it their
for
size that makes
someone-
them indie, or?
Yeah, it's true. For someone who said they were going to take a nap during your list, she certainly was up and ready to ask questions of you,
Well-
Alika. So you've kept her awake.
She wanted to make sure that I got called on all my
She wants to make him squirm.
errors.
She wants to make him squirm. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Well, listen. The next subject we're going to talk about may ruffle some feathers because we, boys and
What's
girls,
going on?
we are, if you can believe it, we are 2 short days away from the premiere of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, I'm
Now-
out.
before everybody freaks.
If Kirsten's watching, I'm out.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Of course, as you know, for some of you and for some of you that don't, there will be a live chat or what do they call those things? A watch party.
It's
There's
a watch
gonna be
party.
There's going to be a watch party.
Will it be
there's gonna be a watch
live,
party.
though?
Yeah, I think so. It's at 1 p.m. our time on the on Hawaii time on the 18th, and there's going to be a live watch party with Zack Snyder and quote unquote friends. So,
So Paul Rudd.
You know, it'd be
Paul Rudd
hilarious
will be
that
there.
it's literally just his friends. Like, it's not anybody famous. It's just literally like whoever's hanging out at his house that day. Be like,
Yeah.
so I got Brian over here.
Yeah.
Say,
Kirsten in the chat says, "No, Sin and I will totally be watching and writing a dissertation."
so long as
I'm
it's, so
looking
long as
forward
it's
to
shorter
it.
to read than the movie is.
Yeah,
The
that is
Snyder
right.
cut. The Snyder cut is basically they took Joss Whedon's JLA, and then Snyder just reinserted Sucker Punch footage in there.
Oh,
And
Oh, man.
stop
Jesus
it!
Christ.
Stop
Okay, you're
it!
going out of your way to piss her off now.
I don't know. Look, when you watch the movie and it turns out to be that, don't be mad, Gannon.
So
I'm 100% sure Emily Brown's not going to show up in that movie out of nowhere in like fighting like a samurai. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Well, they're gonna
If you-
CG Gal Gadot over her, obviously.
Oh,
wow!
so it's going to be like my
Wow.
reface videos.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
They're gonna
Well-
throw in an Ariana Grande video for good measure.
Just
Speaking
know.
of, you guys see my Sucker Punch reface? It was great.
No, it
It's
wasn't.
fantastic. I'm gonna share it to you right now, Greg, since you didn't. see it.
It was-
Anyway, here's the thing. Just know that if you are interested in watching the live the
getting tongue-tied on this.
watch party is what they call it, I guess.
It's a watch party.
You can go just Google Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League live or watch party, and there's an RSVP list
so
that you
it's
can become a
live.
part of. So yeah, so just know that you can watch it
there's-
with him.
And
1
there's
p.m.
a-
Hawaii time. What's
there's
that?
like a 30-minute making of, like right afterwards. They're saying too.
Correct. I was reading it's
So,
an
satisfy your
hour.
day, basically.
They say there's gonna be a 1 hour Q&A. That's what I was reading on that website.
Oh, I don't know if I
gonna
read
be-
that, but probably I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Carl in the chat says that he certainly is excited for the Snyder cut. And I tell you what, man, with the weather we've been having in Hawaii, I'm telling you, I think the Snyder cut is going to be good because the weather has been sucking the last couple of
okay, but
weeks.
How's that
No,
with-
you don't even leave the house.
Hey,
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
you're not
How
out there
dare you.
hiking.
How dare you? My whole clock is off. If I can't go hike
Your
the
whole
the
clock.
EL Needle, if I can't hike the EL
There
Needle,
was just
if I can't go to Baldwin Beach, if I can't
Baldwin
do my
Beach. Where
Yeah,
the
if I
hell
can't-
you plan to go to Baldwin Beach?
if I can't make my weekly pilgrimage to Paia and walk around Paia,
He does the nude fire juggling.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrifying.
That's why G doesn't have any pubes.
Yeah, if you didn't know, I was the guy in the bongos on Little Beach a few months ago on that video.
Oh, you're from that maskless viral video?
Yeah.
like literally viral.
I just want to say I don't like that Alika's getting away with saying shit show and pubes on this episode.
First of all, you just said it.
Pubes is
Stop
not a
it.
swear. Pubes is not a swear.
Pubes is not a
You
swear.
let him say
Everybody say
I
it.
said the F
Everybody
word.
say it now. Pubes is not a swear. Say it. Gannon, you say it.
I said it already though.
He did.
Oh, okay.
He did say it.
Like it's like a PG-13 rating. You can only say it so many times before like a censor jumps in and.
I think pubes is like one of the lighter ones. You can say it like 30 times before.
Hey,
okay.
See, this is exactly what I was talking about. Kirsten is covering her kids' ears. I told you guys, stop it.
We didn't say what pubes are. I don't know if her kids are old enough to know what pubes are yet.
Francine's dog is named Pube, okay? It's an animal name. It's an animal name.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
not even sure you know what pubes are, Greg.
Kirsten wants to know. She asked Carl, but she's asking us, does the rain smell good here?
No.
Yes, it does.
I think the rain smells wonderful in the
Yeah,
island.
it smells like
Greg? You never leave the house.
How dare you? How dare you? I sniff outside the screen door.
Your
When I have to.
off. You know there was daylight savings.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why your clock's off.
It smells like a movie theater seat after a really busy day.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's so disgusting. Oh, gross.
The aromatics.
In Wisconsin.
Does it smell like trickle-down economics? It absolutely does, because when it rains, my dear, it pours.
Oh, man. Jeez.
Oh,
well, we better
gosh.
deodorize it with a crystal then.
But, anywho, very excited because I think that we are going to have a very, we here at the NERDWatch are going to have a very, I don't want to say private party because that doesn't sound right. But
Wait, does this private party involve pubes?
You're fired. You're so fired.
I can shave off a bunch for you guys.
Gross, stop it. Anyway, so what's going to happen is that we're going to get together in a very safe and non-viral way and watch Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
If you see Alika, like he's working in the background, he's installing the stripper pole.
I'm only coming if people can put dollars in my G-strings, okay? That's the only private party I'm
every
coming.
weekend.
That's also fair.
I'm only give me dollar bills.
Never mind. I take it all back.
Kirsten says, "Chop me down for Kyle." I'm not even saying that. You guys, if you guys are just listening and not tuning in live, you got to tune in live because some of this stuff I can't even say on the show. Anyway, just know
because
that
he doesn't have the vocabulary to
that as well. Just know that HBO Max is going to be having not only Zack Snyder's Justice League, but the all new I guess, remastered version of Batman v Superman on the same day. And it's going to be the extended cut. It's the one with the color correction and the wider aspect ratio. So,
did you just say aspect?
Yes.
What a world we live in.
The wider aspect ratio. So
that's IMAX formatted, right?
Yeah, IMAX format. So it's essentially we've got essentially seven. We have essentially 7.5 hours of viewing of DC content coming on the 18th. So yes, so you guys can check that out. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll be reviewing, of course. We'll be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League next week here on the show. So you'll get our thoughts about it. Next week's show will probably be just about that with the comic book list, I think, because there's going to probably be a lot to talk about. So,
there's going to be so much to talk about, though. I mean, there's going to be
the comic list?
No. The fact that next show will only be Zack Snyder and the comic book list. That's what G said.
Kirsten says she's gonna feel like Alex and Clockwork Orange watching it. Golly, that's one of my favorite movies. Oh man, that's one of my favorite movies ever. I love a Clockwork Orange.
Actually, that would be awesome if someone can do a video replacing the footage that Alex is watching with the Snyder cut.
There you go.
I think that would be
that
obvious.
didn't happen yet. I'm surprised that meme didn't happen yet. Nobody uses
somebody should do a supercut of that Alex watching the video and the video being the Snyder cut trailer.
No.
Yes.
They need to do that footage of George C. Scott where he gets visibly angry watching that. That's what they gotta do.
Kirsten says she's going to be editing that right now, she said. So that's fantastic. Also, I'm telling you, Kirsten may not want to see it, but what if she ends up liking it? That's gonna be something. Okay. What if she ends up actually liking it?
No way in hell, dude. Some of the stuff I've already heard that happens in that movie, there's no way.
All right. Listen, I'm just saying. Way. You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
Stuff I've heard about it that makes me be like, yeah, I don't know.
Carl says, isn't there a Zatanna show being developed at HBO Max too? Yeah, I haven't heard of it. Is there?
Oh, there is. There was like a market share meeting or something like that, and they were announced. They didn't out announce DC projects other than ones that are already either working or coming out. And in the background, there was a series of titles of in development stuff, and amongst them was a Zatanna title card and a Batgirl title card.
Wow!
So they haven't announced it yet, but it's in the works.
Well. Batgirl might be interesting if that's going to be on HBO Max because
I'll be honest, I'd rather see the Zatanna show. That would be a lot of fun.
No, I agree. Well, I'm just saying that. I mean, with Batwoman not doing good at all right now in the ratings, and people aren't liking it. Batgirl could be an interesting risk to see if people like
are just kind of falling behind.
Yeah, kind of
excited about them as they used to be.
Yeah, that is very true. By the way, Kirsten says I'm assuming it's about whether if she likes it. If she likes it, she's going to lie in traffic. I don't know if that's something you should resort to.
She saw the program.
Great movie, by the way. Program is awesome.
But a very dated boomer reference.
When I learned what an oil change was.
Wait, yes. But I go to Walmart for my oil changes. What are you talking about?
Nope.
You can do that at Walmart? I'm going. Yeah. I'm going to get an oil change at Walmart.
I go in the back, I give them $40 to give me an oil change.
Wow.
They put a catheter in you, and you switch pee in your bladder with another person.
This was so much funnier until you had to spell it out, Alika. Come on.
We'll go to Walmart, get an oil change and some Moloko, and we're.
I was gonna make an appointment until you dashed.
Is Moloko? That's the chick that's drawing that comic, right?
Yeah.
Peach Moloko.
And you can get a venti of her at Starbucks.
Oh, so sweet.
Delicious.
Kirsten says, check me out on Netflix's show How to Make a Martyr if I like the Snyder Cut. Which I think is pretty awesome. Anyway, speaking of, as The Dark Knight, Gannon said earlier, it's also this week is also the premiere of Falcon and the Snowman on Disney Plus. So you guys can check it out.
I hate that I laugh at that because it's really not that funny. But the fact
fantastic.
that you think it's funny is what makes me laugh.
Yeah, thank you. So you can check it out. Of course, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie. Check them out. Apparently, from
a
very early reviews say it's a very grounded Marvel program. And
grounded,
that's what they
metal
said.
Arm, metal wings.
I hope that Quicksilver shows up in that show. It really is the X-Men Quicksilver now.
Yes. So super excited. So we're getting a lot of nerd.
At the end, like the end of Mandalorian season 2, like he shows up and saves them at the very end. They're like, okay, sorry guys, we messed up. It really is him.
I think it's really exciting that we're getting all this content this week because not only, hey, maybe we can't talk about just Justice League. We're gonna have to talk about Falcon and the Snowman. we're gonna have to talk
He
about.
doesn't even remember the original
Yeah,
title
I
anymore.
know.
He's just
I
like,
know.
I don't know
That's
anymore.
the name after a
Yeah,
while.
sorry. Anyway, we have 2 shows to watch. I mean, not only Zack Snyder, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's going to be a lot of fun for us. We're going to have to review that as well, at least the first episode of it.
I don't have to
that,
do nothing.
Is that also going to be a weekly
Yes.
release?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
No,
got it.
it's
Yes.
also a 4-hour long movie.
Yes.
God.
Every
Yeah.
week.
Pain.
Well,
Every
apparently
week
there
a
are.
4-hour long episode.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, according to some reports, as they were doing publicity for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there are 2 other. They're not saying what, but there are 2 other Marvel TV series coming to Disney Plus in the near future. So they're working on 2 other Marvel series. They haven't said which one yet. So
Yeah, we just covered it. Zatanna's and the whatever.
no, that's DC.
No.
So we
What's
got
the difference?
All the shows coming next.
Aren't they both
anyway?
comics?
what's that? What do you say, Gannon?
Did they announce everything they've got coming though next? I feel like they did.
I thought they did, but it
I
seemed
don't know
like there
what's
was.
in production right now, but they announced
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff. Like
Yeah.
Armor Wars is coming, and
Yep.
And
I'm
the
drawing-
mutants. The
The
mutants.
mutants. Yeah, the mutants is coming. You
Yeah,
know,
saying that wrong. It's the mutants.
Oh, my bad.
Carl,
And-
I hope
And
Carl
the 4
Carl is-
Fantastics.
Carl is right. ROM Space Knight would be fantastic if that were actually real. But I don't think it is real.
They
You
should
know
Um,
what I think? If they did a ROM Space Knight thing, it would be like, you know that Pixar short movie before the actual movie?
No.
Hey, that's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
idea, man. That is a
Oh
really good
yeah,
idea.
maybe. Like it would be like a Marvel tale or something that's like
They
15
used-
minutes long.
Dude, they should totally do little mini cartoons in front of the movies called Marvel
Right?
Tales.
Marvel.
Well,
Thank
what's
you.
Funny, what's funny about that? They used to do that on the Blu-rays.
Yeah, see?
Stopped doing
You're
it around.
welcome, Marvel.
Right.
But for some reason they stopped doing it. There used to be like a quick little 5 to 10 minute short. It was a feature, but yeah.
Kirsten said when's Moon Knight dropping? Not
No,
sure,
no,
but we do know that's in production.
That was one of the ones I was trying to remember. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one I can't wait for.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd
I
be
can't
very
wait
cool.
to watch that. A whole episode of Moon Knight droppings. Ooh.
Disgusting.
I hope they go hard
Speaking-
on his white suit.
Speaking of
Why are you
Disney
laughing
Plus,
for me?
I gotta tell you, there was something else Disney Plus premiered, or not Disney Plus, but Disney premiered today. A brand new trailer, a 1-minute trailer,
Oh, for what?
Cruella again.
Oh Christ!
Oh, really? I missed it. No,
Yeah.
I need to go watch that.
Yeah. So
Oh wait, I meant to miss it.
yeah,
I need to
It-
go watch it because it's Emma Stone.
I gotta tell you, it furthers my worry that this movie is going to try and make her a hero, which she isn't, which is weird. But hey, listen, I'm in for whatever they're gonna
Are
do.
they gonna,
But
they're gonna give her the Maleficent treatment.
kind of. But you know what? She
I
actually
thought
has.
they were doing this more like it's the Joker, but 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like she's gonna be Harley Quinn of the Disney universe.
No,
And
no,
here's
I
the
meant
thing.
literally the movie Joker.
Okay,
We
spoiler.
we are in a society and we kill
Um,
puppies.
By the way, spoiler in the trailer, she's wearing a mask, a painted mask nonetheless, and the painted mask she's wearing across her face says the future. So I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know
what
what
it said.
the.
It said kill Whitey.
Pretty sure it
You don't know how to.
didn't.
You don't
All
know
right.
how
Well,
to
it is Disney. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. Sir Kirsten's right. We live in a humane society, which does make sense. Complete sense. So yeah. So check out the new Cruella trailer, 1-minute trailer, some new footage in there. And if you're interested, I mean, if you were interested now, you'd be more interested even with the 1 minute of new footage that's in there. So check it out for sure.
Whoa. Did you say 1 minute of new footage?
Yeah, it's
That's
a 1-minute trailer.
Snyder cut of Cruella trailers right there, dude.
Yeah, there you go, man. So
I suddenly got interested.
yeah. What else were we? What I want to talk about?
Man, if only you had notes like a producer would make.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Seriously, gosh. There is some other news that we should be preparing for, because as you know, also at the end of this month, I think it's maybe a week and a half after the premiere of Falcon and the Snowman, is the frickin' Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong on HBO Max. So we'll also be looking forward to that as well.
I keep forgetting that's this month too. Wow.
That's this month, March 31st. Another big movie that we can look forward to.
Is anybody excited about it? It doesn't feel like anybody's even paying attention to it.
I don't think anybody's. It's hard to gauge excitement for movies right now, considering we haven't been to a theater in over a year and a half.
No, that's not true at all. Think about it.
I'm
Snyder
sorry,
Cut's
what was that?
streaming, and that's all you're seeing online right now. So that's not true.
I was watching the Cruella trailers. What were you guys talking about?
Well, since you were watching it, Kirsten said release the puppy mill cut, which I think is appropriate. But yeah, there was a release of new music courtesy of Junkie XL for both Godzilla and for Kong, because they have separate themes in the film. There's a new trailer that should be coming. Yeah, there's a brand new trailer that hit today as well. It's like a new TV spot for Kong versus Godzilla, which I have to admit looks pretty cool, considering the fact that I hated Godzilla versus Godzilla King of the Monsters. Was not a fan of that, but hopefully this one is better. So I'm going back and I'm watching some of the older movies. I'm watching Godzilla. I'm going to watch King of the Monsters again.
This movie works out.
What?
Adam Wingard.
Yeah, right. That's very true.
This is his first ever huge movie, and if this movie doesn't work out for him, he's going right back to the indie mill.
Yeah, I agree. I hope he does good, because
he's not that interesting. He's not that interesting of a filmmaker, honestly.
He's not. I saw The Sacrament. I know.
Your Next isn't bad, but
Your Next isn't bad, but
he's really hit or miss. So it's cool he's getting a big break, but if this movie doesn't crack off, then he's never directing a Marvel movie.
Carl Amato in the chat had a question which I can answer. When is Black Widow being released? Black Widow is being released. Black Widow is being released in May, if I'm not mistaken. In the early month of May, it is being released to theaters. So I think Black Widow will be the first film available exclusively to the movie theater when movie theaters apparently reopen in May.
Shows up.
So we're never going to get to see it then.
So, right. We're never going to get to see it.
Wow.
That is correct, sir. That's correct. Because we're never getting back to normal out here. I swear to God, we are never going to get back to normal out here.
We're not.
Yeah. Listen, I'm doing my part. I'm staying indoors. I haven't been anywhere.
Right.
Greg.
But all of a sudden you're outdoors sniffing the rain and stuff.
Other than sniffing the rain and hiking up Iao and going to Paia and going to Baldwin Beach.
Right.
Listen,
going to Baldwin Beach.
There's nothing much to
out
do.
at Nazca's.
And going to Nazca's. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I'm doing, but I'm socially distancing doing it.
Right. Sure.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm doing my part.
Socially distancing from you, but I don't think it has anything to do with COVID.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Now, interestingly enough, there was another interesting report that came out from the infectious disease saying that 3 feet is okay, not 6. Yeah, as long as you're wearing masks, they say 3 feet's great now. So
whenever you got those flaming bongos, I will stay the full 6 feet.
What if I'm not naked?
Did I say anything about your?
Well, if I'm not naked, is it still 6 feet?
Nobody's interested in seeing a regular bongo player, G.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good point. That's a good point. Anyway, moving on to some more fun news this week. There is I should be saving this. Wait,
save it, because I got
what do you got?
Kids Disney Plus streaming for kids.
Oh,
is that an appropriate name? Streaming for kids.
Let's go.
That's fine.
Not at all, but okay, let's stick with it.
It's close enough. Streaming for kids. Okay. So we've got my kids have been watching a lot of Disney Plus. They're going down that Disney Plus rabbit hole. And there's like this forgotten era of Disney where TV kind of stopped existing about 10 years ago, but they kept making Disney sitcoms. You know what I mean? Like and so I just watched another sitcom and kind of got, I only got into this new one. My kids are watching 3 seasons worth now, called Pair of Kings. Have you heard of it?
Yes, that came out in like 2016 or 17. Yeah,
2012.
Oh, that even further back. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
And I looked up the IMDb of the people that are in it. It's weird when you go back and this show seems new. Like you're watching it and it seems like it only happened a couple years ago. And I feel like now, like, and I go back and IMDb the story of everything happened like midway through season 2. One of the main characters, like this young dude, got a DUI, so he got written off the show, and they replaced him with somebody else. And my kids are like watching it, and I can't explain that part to them. They're like, "What happened to Brady? How come he's not on the show anymore?" But it's fun stuff like that. I'm really enjoying going, and we finished with Lab Rats already. We're beyond Lab Rats. Now we're on Pair of Kings, which is very absurd. These kids are super talented and hilarious. I mean, I know that one of the leads, Doc Shane or something like that. He was actually in a Tyler Perry movie recently, so he did more stuff. But all the kids in these shows are super talented. It's like watching Nickelodeon or Disney back in the day when all those, Canadian kid shows or whatever. And some of them went on to make stuff with themselves, but I would think a lot of these kids were doing something now, and I haven't really seen any of them around in the past 10 years.
So you recommend that show. What else is on Disney Plus?
Nothing.
Just the one show? That was it?
My kids are literally just watching absurdist, stuff. Like I'm like watching it and just like, this is so bonkers absurd because.
Can you record, Alika? Kirsten says, Alika, can you record yourself so I can say one Trank Dart one?
G Money is recording.
I am recording. It's true. It is true. Yeah. Do you find yourself gravitating to liking those shows like your kids like it?
I don't. There's not a lot of live action TV I like unless it's fantasy or crazy bonkers weirdo stuff. I don't usually get into regular grounded
like Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, no, not into that at all. But the reason why I like these Disney sitcoms is because they just have cartoon logic. So it's like, you can't keep a kid's attention very long unless something really weird happens. So there's always this weird, crazy, funny, like, did I just hear that kind of stuff going on? So me and the kids both laugh at it. It's fun. So
fantastic. Well, speaking of fun, I found a really cool trailer that you guys need to watch.
Oh, crap.
I think it's going to be entertaining. I don't know the release date for it yet, but you guys can look it up yourselves. It's called Golden Arm. If you can believe it, it is a film that we haven't seen in a few decades. It is a movie about arm wrestling, and it looks incredibly entertaining. It looks like it's so much fun. It's called Golden Arm, and if you are interested, you should definitely
over the top too.
No, it's not. But it's about this time it's a female lead, and she finds out that she has this talent for arm wrestling that she didn't know she had. So go look it up. It's called Golden Arm. The official movie trailer is out. Do yourself a favor. You've got to see it. It looks really fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So something you definitely want to see. Also, before I forget, this was something the Dark Knight was supposed to bring up, but I'll bring it up. The man who decided to do the remake of Evil Dead, Fede Alvarez, has also been tapped to do the remake, or the sequel, the direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Another direct sequel.
The
third direct sequel.
Correct. But Gannon, this is the official direct sequel.
So are the other two.
Is that 50 Cent's last name, Alvarez?
Fetty Alvarez. Yes, that's his last name.
So wait,
Yeah.
so the part 2, which is directed by Toby Hooper, that is no longer official.
It's a shame if it isn't, because that's the best one in my opinion.
It's the most fun to watch. I'll give you that.
I love that one. I like them all. I even, for as bad as it is,
You're gonna see like the Next Generation right now, aren't you?
I kind of enjoy the Next Generation. Yeah.
Oh Christ!
But I do like the Leatherface.
However, cross-dressing Leatherface.
I like the Next Generation too, man.
But
Picard, Data, Riker.
Yeah, all of them show up.
Yeah, they do. Kirsten wants to know, isn't the sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre just a mass closed casket funeral? No, because he eats them.
I think she's making a joke.
Oh, so the caskets are open.
Correct, they're open.
I can't speak for her, but I think she's making a joke about how Texas, removed all their restrictions.
I know. One of the only sane states in the country. But hey, listen, we won't get into that.
One of the only what states? Stupid states?
You heard me. I said sane. Anyway, moving on.
Mr. I'm going to stay home and social distancing is also saying that Texas is being sane. None of those two things are not congruent with each other.
It's
I have a
moronic,
feeling the people in Texas,
it's moronic. I'll give you that.
Anyway, Fetty Alvarez, great success with Evil Dead, is looking for that.
50 Cent Alvarez.
He's looking for that same success.
He's just producing it, though. It's a different director.
Oh, is he? He's not directing it.
Not directing it. He's yeah, I think it's his story, and somebody else is producing it, and someone else.
He hasn't had a hit since In the Club.
Will you stop it? Two different guys. All right, stop it.
50 Cent Alvarez.
It's interesting. They keep going back to the well with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm guessing it's because it's a cheap film to make. I'm guessing. I don't know, but I'm assuming that's probably
with the Texas Chainsaw franchise. It's so bizarre because what they're trying to do is they're trying to recapture what the first movie was, but you can't get away with that first movie anymore. Like the first movie really got away with it, so it's like you're trying to like capture that same feeling in a totally different movie, and nobody's ever going to get it right because that movie is all about discovery. Like it was made on the cheap, and they made it based on trying to create effect with almost nothing at all. Whereas all these other movies have money at their disposal to do whatever the hell they want, so it's not as inventive as that first movie was.
I think with Fetty at the helm, Fetty Alvarez, of course, is the guy who also did Can't Breathe. I think that
In the Club.
Don't Breathe. Excuse me, Don't Breathe. I think that he is unique. His voice is unique enough to make it special.
Are you saying that because he's Latin? You're saying he has an accent? Is that what you're trying to say? You're trying to say because he has an accent, it's unique?
I think someone should point out that there aren't actually any chainsaws in Texas.
He's muy caliente, as they say.
Leatherface owns them all.
Yeah, right? That is true. That is very true. But yeah,
actually, I think that's not true either because Dennis Hopper goes to that store in the second movie and he finds a store that just sells chainsaws.
I think that it's a good idea in the effect of it's probably cheap to make. Probably Fetty can whip up a script in like a couple of weeks, and then they got themselves a cheap movie, a horror movie to make.
I should talk to him about writing a script.
It can't be hard to write a Texas Chainsaw Massacre script.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Pages 1 through 6 are.
Carl says they should call it Beating a Dead Horse with a Texas Chainsaw. Which is possible.
No, they should call it chainsawing a dead horse.
Oh yeah, that is also true. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's something that I'm going to look forward to.
But regular or Polish, because there is a difference.
Oh, Kirsten says my rates are 2 Costco hot dogs and a subscription to Miss Magazine. By the way, Costco only does.
By the way, Phormat, that's Polish.
You can't at Costco. They don't do Polish hot dogs anymore. It's just
that's why I don't get hot dogs there anymore because they don't have the good ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got rid of the Polish dogs for the extra long churros.
Yep, they got rid of them. The Polish dogs are out. They've been out for like over a couple of years. I think. So yeah, no more Polish dogs.
Last I heard, we got the churros back, and I was stoked.
Big shout out to DJ Calvicani. He's in the house as well, watching live on the Facebook. So you can, of course, DJ Calvicani is he is a comic book artist as well and a writer of Exilian. And I've heard that he's one heck of a kisser. I haven't experienced it myself, but he's a good cat overall. And of course, he's part of the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance.
He's one of those indie comic book publishers, without the pompousness that Todd is.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? DJ is everything Todd isn't. It's weird. Anyway, literally.
Right.
So DJ Calvicani, good friend of the show.
It's not.
Yeah, that is very true.
Where is Todd? Is he still doing homework? Isn't it spring break?
Yeah.
He's in school. He's in school. He can't help it. He's in school. Anyway, big news.
Big news
coming. Yeah, big news. Courtesy of Paramount, and I'm assuming Paramount Pictures and Lucasfilm. For those of you that are interested, like I am, we are finally getting a 4K Blu-ray release of all 4 Indiana Jones movies.
And with all the garbage cover too, by the way.
Yep, it's going to be with it's to celebrate the 40th anniversary. The collection will be yours to own on June 8th. All the movies will be remastered from 4K, from the 4K scans of the original negatives. So it's the highest quality image possible, approved by director Steven Spielberg, whoever that guy is.
So you'll actually be able to see the Frigidaire logo on the refrigerator when he climbs out of it from the explosion.
I can't wait to watch Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because that's like my second favorite now.
I hate everything about you right now.
Sorry, it just is. If you are interested, it comes in a box set. It looks spectacular.
You know what else comes in a box set?
What?
Aron.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it looks fantastic. Also, some new special features as well. That looks like it's going to be a wonderfully cool release. So if you are an Indiana Jones fan, now is the time, boys and girls, to check it out.
Though it's not the 40th anniversary of the franchise; it's the 40th anniversary of Harrison Ford's 40th birthday.
Shut your mouth! You're a terrible person. Terrible person. Let me.
It means he's old.
Dude, I don't know if you know that.
Let me share this with you guys if you have not seen it. This is what it looks like. The 40th anniversary of. That's what it looks like, actually. So that's kind of.
Why is it white?
Cool. Yeah, it is a good point. I don't know why it's white. Hang on. I'm gonna fix it. Let me do that one more time to share it with you properly. If you have not seen the box cover art for it, it looks really cool. And
I just think it's the original artwork. Like,
there it is.
Keep doing this crappy, I love this, the original artwork.
Yeah, it looks really good. Very excited for it. Let me bring it up on its own.
Why would you do anything different?
Yeah, seriously. It looks super cool. Look at that. It looks fantastic. All 4 movies, digital copies, collectible packaging, bonus special features disc. Does
it come with a figurine?
No, it does not. I'm assuming it's
a small boulder that you could roll into the discs.
I'm assuming it's going to be one of those movies that is one of these sets that's going to be in a nice package case. So hey, somebody got a fire alarm going? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, jeez Louise.
The roof. Apparently
someone's roof is on fire. So check it out. Make sure to pre-order your copy when it comes up. It is Indiana Jones finally coming to 4K. It's been so long. Very excited to have these in 4K. Some of my favorite movies of all time. Of course, as we all know, the best one.
Be as good.
It's going to be just as good. And the best one is Indiana Jones.
Like you're going to watch it. You're going to watch it and everything's going to be too good. You know what I mean? Like the quality, like you're going to be like, oh man, that day Harrison Ford had acne.
What the hell is going on? Anyway,
I'm too focused on the beeping noise.
I did too. Hang on. Is it? Yes, it is. What the hell, Phormat?
I said it was.
Oh, you
I
did
didn't
say
say it wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah, I said my building's on fire. It's fine. We're good.
All right, if we're good, that's fine. But I'm gonna have to mute you, and then I'll come back to you. If it stops, raise your hand, so that I know to turn you back on. Holy cow, that is ringing in my ears. Anyway, oh, he did. He raised his hand. All right, perfect. No, he lied. Kirsten's even worried. Kirsten said someone's gonna die in a fire. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Alika in the chat, who should be on the show, is answering questions in the chat. DJ Cavalcani, he's taking Professor Barry's comic class at UH. So that is correct. He's in school right now.
Who are we talking about right now?
Ron Cataguy in the chat says, how far does that truck need to back up? I don't know. I really don't know.
The answer
It's pretty far. If I were a tenant in that building, I think I'd be ticked because that thing is going off forever. Wait, let's check in. God dang it. Kirsten, how dare you? Somehow the beeping has been the best part of the show so far. Stop it. Terrible.
Yes, it is.
Alika said he had to drop the kids off.
Drop them off
late.
where?
Yeah, it's kind of late.
Where are you dropping them off to?
I have no
Off
idea.
a cliff?
They're at home, I thought. Who knows? Anyway, other than that 4K news, that pretty much does it for this week, man. There isn't any huge news. Am I missing anything else, peeps? As far as any big news that I got to talk about this week? Am I missing anything there, Gannon, that you'd like to discuss?
Oh, we didn't talk about how Robert Pattinson got Zoe Kravitz pregnant on the hood of the Batmobile.
Okay. I think that's code. That is code for Batman. The new Batman movie has rap shooting. Is that right?
No. You're misspeaking. Batman has reached its conclusion.
Okay. Matt Reeves put up a post on Twitter saying that Batman has rapped. Was that your funny way of saying that Batman has rapped as well?
According to what I've just said, he didn't rap it at all.
Okay. So what you're telling me is right now is that Robert
Zoe Kravitz is a child.
So what you're telling me now is that Batman got Catwoman pregnant on the hood of the Batmobile.
Yeah. It was on Cosmic Book News, so it has to be real.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I can neither confirm nor deny. Gannon can neither confirm nor deny either.
Oh, I don't care about confirming or denying. I just love that story. Who cares if it's real? It's a good story.
I gotta say, with all of the tension behind the scenes on that new Batman movie, I'm surprised anyone got freaky, considering how tensions were high on that show. So I mean, on that film,
that's exactly why you would, to take the edge off.
Oh, that's fair. Is Robert look. Is Robert Pattinson a handsome guy? Am I missing something? Is he a good-looking kid?
I mean, if I swung that way, I wouldn't go there, but I could see why other women would.
I think Zoe Kravitz is an absolute knockout. She's an absolute beauty.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite girl from Mad Max, but sure, why not?
How dare you?
I like the redhead in Mad Max.
Yeah. I do like Rosie Huntington-Whiteley.
Elvis's granddaughter. Did you know that?
Huh?
The redhead in Mad Max
is who?
That's Elvis's granddaughter.
Shut your mouth. Are you serious?
That's Lisa Marie's daughter. I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that either. What?
She is in the movie called The Lodge. It was a movie I actually got Phormat let me borrow, and I was watching it, and I was trying to remember why I recognized that actress, and then when I looked it up, she was also in Mad Max Fury Road, and as I was looking up information about her, she is Lisa Marie's daughter.
Shut up! I didn't know that. Kirsten in chat says my sexuality is both her and Rob. I'm assuming, of course, Zoe. Zoe is a complete knockout. I mean, goodness.
I I'm hoping from that trailer that's not her final Catwoman outfit though, because
I hope so either. I hope so too. I agree.
Cat thing with the eyes cut. I'm like, I hope that's not it.
So here's the thing. As we know, the new Batman movie has been plagued by rumors of Robert Pattinson not being in shape for the movie, Matt Reeves and him having a lot of tension on the set. It's interesting now that it has finally wrapped. I am curious, are they still looking at a 2022 release? Is that still where we're headed for this?
I'm pretty sure they're still locked in on 2022. What I am sure of though is that they're probably not locked in on a trilogy anymore.
Ooh, good. That's a good observation.
Trilogy, but with all the static everybody's been seeing online, like him having back and forths with Matt Reeves, him refusing to. By the way, the whole him not working out thing's so ridiculous because we like Michael Keaton as Batman. Granted, we didn't in the beginning, but we love Michael Keaton. I don't think that guy did a single push-up to be in his movies. So there's room for Batman to not necessarily be jacked. You know what I mean? It's just, I think what it is a lot of people that say that are the ones that got really into seeing Affleck as Batman because he's the right stature for Batman. So people were just like, that's what we want to see as Batman. They don't want to go backwards.
The history of Batman is interesting, and I'm glad you brought it up because I am a firm believer that no one has nailed both parts. I think Michael Keaton is a better Bruce Wayne than he is Batman. I think Val Kilmer is a better Bruce Wayne than he is a better Batman than he is a Bruce Wayne. I think George Clooney is a better Bruce Wayne than he is Batman.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
I think Christian Bale is a better Batman than he is Bruce Wayne.
Oh, I completely disagree with that.
I also believe that Ben Affleck is a better Bruce Wayne than he is Batman.
I completely disagree with that too.
Are you serious? Pattinson has a unique.
I mean, if we're going to get into this discussion, first of all, they're just victims of how these movies are written to begin with.
Good
so
point,
depending on who's writing it and how it's directed, it could have gone either direction. It's really dependent on how the movie came across. So Affleck, probably with a different director and writer, could have been an equal measure of both, but we're stuck with Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder. And it's hard to judge George Clooney because that whole movie is a train wreck.
That's fair.
But okay. Val Kilmer, I would agree. He did seem, to me, he seemed like Bruce Wayne was his bag, but it could also be he's just more comfortable not being in that suit. Because I actually read the chapter where he talked about his Batman experience, and he did discuss that. Like it was just hard for him to get comfortable in the suit, and for the character to come through that.
Right.
Michael Keaton, of course, yes, he's better in the Batsuit than he is out of it. But again, all of these are coming down to how both versions of that character are written. So it's kind of not fair to judge either one because it's not the actor's fault, really.
Well, DJ says that Affleck is the best Batman and Bruce Wayne. I don't think Affleck had the opportunity to expound on either one, and he was never given enough time.
Well, in Affleck's case, like we're catching him towards the very end of his story, kind of.
True.
We're not getting any build up with him. Like we're just plucked right into like what's basically his twilight years as Batman. While this Superman thing happens, so we don't get a chance to like grow with him as Bruce Wayne. Like this is just who he is.
Correct.
So we don't really know what he was like before, except that he lost to Robin, but we already kind of knew that. So yeah, so Affleck's just kind of played by the fact that like he's doing Batman at like borderline 50 years old. And we just have to assume a lot about how he got that way.
I think Robert Pattinson has a unique opportunity to be both a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman in one movie.
Even though he looks like Nightwing more.
Is it? How do I? It's interesting to me that Batman in and of itself, because this is year 2. This new Batman with Matt Reeves is a year 2 Batman. So this is still a young Bruce. This is still a young Batman. So, I think he has an opportunity to bring the character forward. You know what? I tell you what, if this Batman is successful, Gannon, that trilogy might be back on the table. if people like him,
with Warner Brothers, it's like it's just hard to understand why they're approaching everything the way they are. First, they want to do Zack Snyder's universe, then they don't, and then they do, but then they also want to carry over Aquaman and Wonder Woman because those movies work. So it's like they have their toes dipped in all these different things, and it's just like you can't make heads or tail of they're definitely not going with any sense of continuity at this point. So I don't really know. Like I'm going to root for it just as a fan of the character, and I like Matt Reeves, so I'm kind of giving it faith based on that alone. And I didn't get mad about Robert Pattinson being Batman like a lot of other folks did, because I didn't. We've been stuck with so many different guys playing Batman over the last 30, 40 years. It's like, why not at this point? And people just keep thinking about Twilight, but he's so far removed from Twilight at this point. It's so unfair to judge him for those movies.
I agree with you. I mean, you have never been, you're a huge Batman fan. You have never been really critical of any of the Batman actors or the people that have portrayed Batman on screen.
I mean, even if I'll bag on a movie, there's positives in all of them to some degree or another.
Yeah. You are a very staunch defender of Ben. I mean, to be fair to you.
Only in the sense of like he's visually what I would like Batman to look like. Whether he performed it right or not, he's visually what I think Batman should look like. When you look at Batman, it should look like somebody like Affleck. And I'm not even saying that as a fan of Affleck or any of those things, but he's the right body shape, he has the right face for it, right jawline. All of those things work.
I can see that.
People that absolutely hate BVS, and even some folks that say they hate Snyder, his action sequence in that warehouse is exactly what you've always wanted to see Batman do. Even if he doesn't kill people, that's exactly what you've always wanted to see Batman do. Just tear up a room by himself, and he gets hurt. He gets hurt. He's not impervious. He's not like unstoppable. He gets hurt. He gets stabbed in the arm, and all kinds of other things happen to him.
Yeah, DJ agrees with Gannon for sure. I completely agree with Gannon as well. Like I said, I've never been very critical of who the people they chose. I wasn't even critical of Robert Pattinson. I thought since they're going with a younger Batman, I thought that he would be the guy to go with. I think in that respect.
Choice. I never would have thought of Robert Pattinson to play Batman ever. I never would have thought of that. But I mean, and I've said this so many times over the years. I just don't get precious about this stuff anymore. Because getting precious about what you think these things should be just gets in the way of seeing something different that might actually be interesting. I feel like, we're never ever gonna see the comics completely realize the way we want to in a movie. It's never going to happen.
I agree. I mean, this is what ruined.
Getting angry about it doesn't get anybody anywhere. But what is interesting to me is seeing a character interpreted in a way I wouldn't expect. That makes me think about that character in a different way. Whether it challenges what you think of that character, or if it nails a lot of the things that you want to see. Either way, it forces you to think about what you think of the character.
Well, you're right, Gannon, because in that respect, I think you're right, because I think Alika's biases preclude him from enjoying the X-Men movies because
he's right there, dude. He's listening.
He's here. Oh,
no,
sorry.
I told you there's about 2% of those that I actually enjoy. Like Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler. That was awesome. Not Jean-Luc Picard, what's his real name?
Think hard. Jean-Luc Picard. Patrick Stewart, guy.
As Professor X, amazing. There's things about like I said, there's about like 2% of each movie that I really like, and if you add them up, all the entire 10-year span of those X-Men movies, I think there's about what is that, like 15%? Yeah. Out of what, 1,000 some kind of percent. So
wait, Alika, would you say bad X-Men movies are better than no X-Men movies?
Ooh, good question, Gannon.
It depends, because it depends what else we're getting. Because I'm straight up, because the height of X-Men mania, we didn't have any movies. We had comics, and we had cartoons, and we had toys, and we had video games. We didn't have any movies. We had arcade games, and that was the bomb. It was a great era in the time of the X-Men. No movies. So, and then the movies came along, and all the comics and the video games and everything started looking like the movies, and they started sucking balls. And so it kind of tanked the whole franchise. Old school fans of the X-Men started tuning out. It was not like, I understand there was mainstream appeal to the X-Men movies, but those people, a lot of those old school X-Men fans who were really turned on by everything in the early to mid 90s, they left. They didn't give a crap about anything that was happening in the 2000s to the whatever, the whole Bryan Singer verse stuff. They hated it, I know DJ's on my side with that.
DJ says the MCU is going to fix everything Fox got wrong.
That's very comforting. I don't know, but I hope so. I hope so. I hope so.
DJ also says, "Let me in the chat. I want to talk." You are in chat, pal.
No, get him on the call, man.
Oh my gosh! All right, fine.
Bring him in.
We can bring him in for a few minutes.
Put him in.
Yeah, we can bring him in. What the heck? Anyway, I think it's a golden opportunity. Getting back to the point, I think it's a golden opportunity for Robert Pattinson, hopefully, to have done something unique with the character, and with all of the trouble with the production of the film, I think Batman has been gone for so long that I think people are looking for.
He hasn't been gone. He's been gone for 3 years.
No. I think what you're misunderstanding is I think he's been gone. In my opinion, I kind of gloss over Ben because I think Ben is a later year Batman. And I think we haven't gotten a Batman in a sense since Christian Bale. And I don't mean to.
The last one was 2012. It's not that. Well, I guess it's almost 10 years away.
It's almost 10 years. So I mean, just removing Affleck from the equation because he never got a actual standalone movie. I think Robert has a unique opportunity, and Matt Reeves has a unique opportunity to craft a story in a universe of DC comic characters.
If I'm being honest, my faith in that movie has more to do with Matt Reeves than Robert Pattinson.
I agree.
To be honest with you, because I've seen almost everything I've seen that Matt Reeves has directed, I've enjoyed. And I haven't
seen a bad one. I'm with you. I've never seen a bad one.
He has a passion about the story he's telling, as opposed to having a movie kind of thrown on him to make a release date. I mean, I'm sure he did have a release date before COVID happened, but he seemed to be passionate about the story he's telling, which is where these movies should start from. But I mean, I'm just trying to reconcile, making sense of what DC's trying to do, because they got Flashpoint coming out, which is going to have Affleck and Keaton in it. So they're going to be going back and forth between stuff that is continuity and stuff that's not. And I think for us, that's no big deal. We can embrace the idea of multiversal type of characters, but are the casual moviegoers going to be able to follow all this stuff? Are they going to be you know what I mean? Casual moviegoers are just going to be this doesn't make sense to me, and that's probably going to hurt them financially. Because fans are just not going to be able to understand what's going on with these movies. They're too used to how Marvel does stuff.
Man, as soon as I unmute Phormat and there's nothing there, 2 seconds later, bam, get the frick. Anyway, Kirsten in the chat says she loves X-Men. She just wish it were campier.
Yes. Thank you. It needs to be campier. It needs to be campier. Thank you, Kirsten.
Can it be campy though with the way MCU does stuff?
Yeah, that's a good point. Can it? I don't think so. I think Gannon's got a point. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I have a point. I was just
they all better be wearing different colored tights. Marvel Girl better be in green and yellow. It better be crazy over the top, blue and yellow spandex everywhere, or else it's gonna be pure garbage.
Kirsten in the chat says
they're all going to have boring costumes like the Marvel
she
characters.
Doesn't even like Christopher Nolan, and those are the best Batman movies. No, I definitely enjoy the stupid early ones more, even Batman and Robin, which is basically a gay cult movie.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirsten brings up a good point. WandaVision was campy. Kind of.
It's about sitcom shows. That's why you get away with that. Once it veered out of the sitcoms, of course it wasn't campy anymore. So
ladies and gentlemen, introducing to the pod, DJ Kavikani, who is in the chat with us. DJ Kavikani. DJ Kavikani joins us as a special guest. Of course, DJ Kavikani, the man who is the creator of Exilion, also works alongside, in some capacity, with our very own Man in Black Phormat. They work together and correspond with one another on comic book stories and things of that nature. So, DJ Kavikani, how are you tonight, sir?
Good, good. How you guys doing?
Well, listen, you sir, wanted in on this chat, and you seem you were prepared to stand for what's right, for justice. So, what is your take?
I don't know what you guys talking about. You guys talking about X-Men? Or you guys talking about Batman?
We were talking about Batman, but we did veer off into X-Men. What? DJ, since you're the special guest, I'm going to give you the floor. What would you like to talk about?
I don't know.
All right, I guess that's why I'm the host. So let's get into X-Men, because I know that's your forte. What do you? Like we said, that Batman. We do know that the new Batman movie has an opportunity to craft a brand new universe for Batman, which is fantastic with Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves. Like you were saying, do you actually think that Disney is going to be able to right the wrongs that you think were in the Fox X-Men movies?
Yeah, I think they can. They just gotta, stay away from the whole Magneto mystique. They just gotta do the characters.
When it comes to Magneto, everybody's disappointment is that Sir Ian McKellen is a great actor. I'm sure, you know what I mean. But Magneto is this gigantic buff dude with long flowing silver hair. He's like majestic. He's got horse thighs, dude. His muscles ripple in the sun. He's like,
yeah.
First of all, Ian McKellen, I've seen him. He's got horse thighs.
But
no,
Ian McKellen. They always make like he's just one of the villains. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be about the X-Men. So besides Wolverine, give me the X-Men. Like, you know what I mean? Like Scott Summers, he's such a huge character. With that character, you can get Cable, you can get, you know what I mean? Havoc, you can so many characters you can go, and his story is complex. Even if people hate his guts, he's still like one central character to the X-Men.
You know what? It's funny to It's funny to hate Cyclops now, but when we were kids, he was badass. You wanted to be the dude that shot lasers at people, and you know what I mean?
Yep.
Well,
and then
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you guys, I know that you guys have the same love for X-Men as Gannon has for Batman. The question ultimately is now that we know Marvel has X-Men back, do you think
Robert
X-Men
Pattinson, should Robert Pattinson play Cyclops? That's what you're going to ask.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
What I'm gonna
you would do good Cyclops if you ask me.
My question is, does X-Men do the X-Men actually fit in this universe that they've crafted already?
Yeah.
They're so inventive with storytelling. It's a wide open universe.
They're in blast open the universe so they can just veer, and they can just stick the X-Men because they can do so much with the X-Men. You know what I mean? And if you look at some fighting words, already seeding them with them. I mean, from what I understand, Rogue supposed to be like one of the villains for the next Captain Marvel show? You know what I mean?
Well,
the movie.
That would be incredible. I mean, that would be a great way to bring mutants in because obviously Rogue's first appearance, not her first appearance, but an early appearance, she takes Ms. Marvel's powers, and that's how she gets the power of flight and super strength and all that.
But not only that, they already put all the variables in place. They got the Infinity Stones or the gems or whatever, and then they got Wanda in place, so you could do like one House of M style thing, or you could do some alternate reality thing where they come in, all of a sudden they come in, so they get all of the variables in place where they can bring the X-Men in. And from what I understand, they're trying to get everybody back from the original, from the Fox movies, which I think would be.
I don't know how I feel about that. There's
I would like them for recast everybody and just go
as the series as those movies go on, as closer to present day, the casting gets better and better.
Yeah.
The early movies, like I said, Alan Cumming was an incredible Nightcrawler. They should stick with him for Nightcrawler, obviously. And
but he's all in makeup anyway. You could get anybody for that. You know what I mean?
Well, I liked him better than the second Nightcrawler, that's for sure. So
they should get Mike Myers.
No.
Wait, you didn't like Jodie Smith McPhee? Jodie Smith McPhee as Nightcrawler?
Apocalypse was terrible. That whole film.
Yeah.
Although
Olivia Munn is Psylocke. That was pretty decent.
Boo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Boo.
I know,
It
seriously.
has
That's
like
what
one
I'm
line the whole movie.
The Phoenix one is the second Dark Phoenix one is like, oh my god.
Oh god.
What the hell?
You know, hey,
Phoenix,
you know what I
the Phoenix.
You already had, well, what is that? Like the 6 X-Men movie.
Yeah.
And they're revamping the characters, and it's like, bro, I didn't even know these characters. You know what I mean? Like they had 6 movies, and I don't know who this Cyclops is. You know what I mean? I don't know who. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
There's no character development.
Yeah, there's no with 6 movies, and because they kept focusing on Mystique because of the money they had with, and they're trying to pay what's her name, the
Jennifer Lawrence and
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
They're trying to make stick them as the character, like the forefront character, and they're not the forefront characters. This is 2 villains, and sometimes Magneto is good, and he flip flop, and he's the good guy, and he's the bad guy. And that's the whole trip about Magneto, is you don't know which way, and it all depends on which way they're gonna write the story. But you get so many characters just within the X-Men itself. And now I'm not talking about Professor X, I'm talking about the X-Men themselves. I'm talking about Storm, I'm talking about Rogue, you know what I mean? I'm talking about, all the so many female characters that
you better say Dazzler, sir.
yeah. Even Dazzler, if they was to go that route, if they did on 80s one, they could bring Dazzler, they could bring Longshot, there's so many things. And from there you could literally rest all of the Avengers characters. You know what I mean? Now you can rest all of that. You can introduce all of the mutants. You can do X-Men. You can do X-Force. You can do X-Factor. You can do Excalibur. You can do New Mutants. You can do, Generation X. You can do all of that. And then when because it's a huge, giant universe. Now when you start mixing them up with like Marvel always does, now you can do, because you got so much variety that you can just go off with them. You know what I mean? So
it sounds like X-Men needs to have its own separate universe almost.
Then you can do AVX and that the X-Men and Avengers, because that's an awesome story right there. The Avengers is the police, and the X-Men is always on the run, and the X-Men work best when they're on the run, because they're mutants. And you kind of had the setup with that with Civil War, where if you get superpowers, you got to register and all of that. So they're kind of setting the tone for this world. You know what I mean?
Good
because
point.
Cap became the bad guy, so it's like, oh, this is one perfect lead in. If they get mutants and they got to register, but if you guys, I was talking to somebody about Gifted. You guys, anybody watch Gifted?
I have Gifted. Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay, so Gifted, it's a really good X-Men show without having, with having some of the X-Men, but you get the feeling, that's the feeling you get when you read on X-Men comic, is that these characters is on the run, and they're just trying to survive, and they're just trying to fight for what is right, and everybody's against them, and they're always at their best when their back is up against the wall. And you think about the way they set up the Marvel universe.
Good point.
That's pretty prime for stick the X-Men in that universe,
Kirsten disagrees. She thinks Mystique is cool. Is as cool as AF.
Well, and that's the one thing, is Mystique is a cool character, and focusing on Magneto and Mystique isn't necessarily bad things. It's just that every single movie in the Bryan Singer verse was the same story, and it was the same 2 characters. But I
Marvel
wish.
hired DJ now. I agree with that. 100%.
Hell yeah.
100%. He has the mind. He definitely has the mind for X-Men for sure. I think Chris Claremont would be happy. Oh, really?
Yeah, essentially because it feels like, because we have what we have from the MCU, right? Like the fan base is hungry for more and they want it now. But the reason why there's success in the MCU is because of the slow burn.
Yeah, I agree.
But they want it now. Like guys are already talking, why did I just blank? The M thing. What is it?
House of M?
House of M, yeah. Guys are already talking House of M.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they went to House of M. Because there were way too many mutants.
Yeah.
So you can't just go, bam, mutants, House of M. You know what I mean? Like there's a
No, yeah, I know.
slow burn that
That's
needs
not
to
what
be
I'm saying. I'm not
established.
saying they should just. I'm saying if they introduce one X-Men movie in the Marvel universe and they do them right, now they open up that whole sector of the
That makes
Marvel
sense. I
universe
agree.
that they're not even touching right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
They I mean, if you look at all the movies, even because they was fighting with Fox for they was trying to get the rights from Fox.
Right.
So they tried to make the Inhumans and turn them into the mutants, which failed miserably. Even in the comics, that was terrible. You know what I mean? So I mean,
that was like the TV show and the comics failed at the same time.
right. So,
Although one successful character did make it out of the comics from that time, which they introduced a new Inhuman named Mosaic, and that character's been kind of popular. He's still around.
But if
He
I
wasn't
may,
in the show though.
No, not in the show. DJ was saying the comics and the show flopped at the same time, and I was cool with him.
Format, I think Format's onto
say
something. Format's right. The slow burn is what we need. But to Gannon's
Hey, the Inhumans TV show had the slow burn. Karnak was a ganja farmer for like 4 episodes.
Gannon, but Gannon's. I think Gannon has a better hold on this concept because the characters that
Don't
he like.
create a division between me and these two guys. Don't do that.
No. What I'm saying is that you're lucky because you like a singular character. Isn't it easier to make a movie about a singular character as opposed to a group?
I mean, if you want my opinion, how they should handle the mutants in the Marvel Cinematic Universe
That's why I went to you, Gannon.
Is that there are people that turn up in the other movies as random characters.
And they could do that too because
in the middle of the next, let's say in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they encounter somebody that has strange abilities and then they disappear. They have no idea where that guy went, but we recognize who that person is. And you build up that these random types of people are turning up, and then that slowly turns into a shield file. Who are these new people turning up?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They start having case files, and then when they start investigating who these people are, it turns out that these people are mutants. So it's something that you trickle throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then you finally build to once we figure out who they are. That's where they get their franchise movie. That's where you figure out about the school. You could treat Professor Xavier's School of the Gifted less of something that everybody knows about, and more as something that's more of a secret.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to.
Yeah,
Instead of the private school where not everybody know about them, but the world is going on, so they've been there the whole time. It's just they've been quiet. You know what I mean?
You could even see Professor Xavier turn up here and there. You know, talking to somebody they don't know what kind of abilities he has. It's something you pepper throughout the universe, and then you reveal it down the road. Maybe after let's say 5 or 6 movies that they've always been there. They've always been around. We just never knew who they were until they started actually honing in and investigating who these new people are.
No,
because that way you get to do the mutants have always been there. Right. They've just been in hiding all this time because of what they can do.
That's a great concept, but didn't Batfleck do that in Batman v Superman and the Justice League?
But how did he do that?
I mean, he was collecting files on these guys, wasn't he?
No, Luthor was, and then Affleck took the files.
Fair.
But let's not use that as the example because that's a terrible example because that's them force feeding a lot of exposition just to get to Justice League a few movies faster.
Okay.
What we're talking about here is that we're peppering these characters through. They run into random characters throughout these things that don't even have anything to do with the story. And then, but again, we know who they are. So they might run into somebody that could shapeshift and it's a woman. We're like, oh, that might be Mystique. Or we see somebody that could do something a little tricky and they're like, oh, that might be Dazzler. And then as they investigate it, we find out the mutants have always been around the Marvel Universe. We just never saw them.
All of those characters are Mephisto.
You can even do a flashback with Steve Rogers where he runs into Wolverine, but we didn't know who Wolverine was.
That was actually an idea that I had.
Yeah, like World War II and all of that.
He was still part of Team X at the time.
Yeah.
Could you hide the school from S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is there any way in the universe that we can hide
you know who Professor X is?
Yeah, I don't think you know who Professor X is.
Yeah,
he kind of has that ability. I don't know if you know
that. We're gonna fix that by everybody in the current MCU starts wearing Magneto helmets. It's going to be cool.
I mean, think about how cool it would be that, like, you know, they find this guy on the street who could pop claws. They start trying to investigate this guy, and then somebody's like, you know what? I think I've seen this guy before. They investigate some kind of footage they have of Steve Rogers or a picture from Steve Rogers with this guy from Canada. They're like, oh my god, it's that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
So
the Wonder Woman picture with Dum Dum Guggen.
Basically, yes, but it would actually work better in the Marvel Universe to say that they've always been around, but by the very nature of who they are, they're in hiding.
Right.
They didn't benefit from the same luxury that the Avengers did, that like they were embraced almost right away. They've had to hide since they were young.
It's so funny. Like I had like ins for every single one of these things, and then every release that Marvel has done has shot that down. Every single one of them. I had an in for the Fantastic Four. I had the in for the X-Men and the mutants as a whole, and every single time Marvel like released a new thing, it just shot it out of the water, and I had to come up with something new.
See, Fantastic Four is harder to retroactively shove into the Marvel Universe. They have to appear something brand new now.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys. If X-Men is so easy, why are they doing Fantastic Four, which seems like a much harder sell? And what am I
think
what am I
Fantastic
missing?
Four would be a lot easier.
Yeah,
really?
Because you just bring them in. They were in space this whole time.
Yeah, I think Alika was saying if you just bring them out of like they was in the negative zone, and you know maybe they start them in the 60s and they were stuck over there or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be pretty awesome.
I think
from there you can, you know, and they're gonna do the whole not what's those guys called? The not the Inhumans, those
Eternals,
Ganja farmers.
You know, so they're gonna do all of those Marvel cosmic dudes. So you know, you could introduce you know, what's his name? The purple guy, the Galactus. You could, you know what I mean? And then you can swing over to the Fantastic Four and do all of that. You know,
it is interesting because I think the Eternals.
To include Galactus and Surfer until like way later.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. That's definitely true. But I think that if you're going to introduce the Fantastic Four, I think everybody's going to bet on seeing Victor Von Doom first, right? I'm guessing, and then of course maybe Galactus later down the line. So that does make sense.
I would like to see the Fantastic Four just because that's Marvel. Like, you know what I mean? Like. Especially
that's the first family.
You know what I mean, Dr. Doom and the Fantastic Four. I would like to see that.
Doom would be cool, but I have no like every single iteration of Doom so far has been so sad.
But you know what? I think Kevin Feige could do something with him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
I think Kevin Feige
he made Iron Man like a household name.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think they could make him relevant. They could make him cool. They could make him be like, you know. And the fact that he's super smart. He's like the you know the Tony Stark, but he's bad. You know what I mean? So if you think in those terms, like he's super intelligent and he's this, you know, crazy genius, maniac with a super huge ego, and then you go from that angle, and then you get. Stories because he's so limited because he's not, you know, we had Thanos, we had all of these crazy guys, these, you know, crazy decked out super big villains, and then you get this super villain who's kind of toned down compared to all of these guys, but still he blow everybody's minds the way Tony Stark blow everybody's minds because of his genius. And now you swing everybody right back to, you know what I mean? You swing everybody away from Thanos. You swing everybody away from whatever all of these big things is, and you highlight how genius and how evil Dr. Doom is, and you know what I mean. Everybody, you can make people forget real fast. You know what I mean? If the story land, if everything hit and everything hit the right tone at the right time, you can make everybody forget real fast and get everybody talking about the next thing. You know what I mean? And I think they can do that with Dr. Doom.
Yeah, if you do Dr. Doom that way, you would realize how much you miss Tony too. The fact that you don't have Tony anymore to deal with somebody that's on his level, it hurts you a little bit more for the rest of Marvel Universe that they don't have Tony at their disposal anymore. They have to fight somebody that's basically as smart as him without him.
That makes
So
sense.
that would be interesting.
And then that would also, leave room for if, is his daughter going to be like Iron, the next Iron? You know what I mean? So you get room for opportunity for grow some of these newer characters at the same time. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I would probably have to set up Reed Richards as basically the Tony Stark of the Marvel Universe going forward.
Well, I mean,
talking about Fantastic Four. Yeah, that would be good. Reed Richards, and then you'd have, that would be the hard part. Would be casting the Fantastic Four. To me, I think that's the big challenge right there.
I already know how to do it. You just get Robert Downey Jr. to shave off the goatee, and he's Reed Richards.
Well, if WandaVision is any indication,
don't even have him act any different. Just he doesn't have the goatee, and he's Reed Richards.
If WandaVision is any indication, John Krasinski would make a good Reed Richards. So,
I don't think they should cast who people want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Only because you could end up getting disappointed by your own damn choice. I think they should just find somebody that you wouldn't expect. Because you know what? When they said Chris Evans is Captain America, I was like, really? Him? I didn't really think he was going to be a good idea for Captain America, but it turns out he was a good idea.
Yeah.
Kirsten brings up a blast from the past. Reed Richards were played by the Mr. Sheffield from The Nanny, which actually is pretty good. It makes sense.
Isn't that guy like 60 now, though?
only if Fran Drescher is Sue Richards.
Sue Richards? As long as she's Sue Storm? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, gents, that was interesting. Our possible way that the Marvel Universe could change. I mean, with so many options, they're still building the Krull and the Scree, or what I like to call the Scree. That was the Krull and the Kree. Scree is my combo. That's my mutation. That's my mutation of both of them. The Krull and the Kree.
That's you not knowing what the hell you're talking about.
No, I've said before, the Scree is where it should be at. They should have melded the two together. Is what they should have done. That should have been first and foremost. But there's so many options that I think the multiverse, I think the Doctor Strange movie is going to be the Multiverse of Madness, that's going to take us to the Fantastic Four, take us to the X-Men, I think that movie is going to be more pivotal than anybody thinks. And I think that
here's my problem with that statement. That's what we already thought about WandaVision, and look what happened there.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why
people got to stop trying to get ahead of these stories, because look what happened last time we tried to get ahead of them.
I think that's why Scott Derrickson was let go of directing the Multiverse of Madness, because I think that Kevin Feige wanted to go a different way, because he knew this was much deeper than just a Doctor Strange movie.
No, dude, that's not what it is.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Every single director that stepped away from a Marvel movie is because they started off making one. I guess maybe you're right, but he started making one movie and they said, no, you know what? We want to have all these other things. And now it's not the movie that they intended to make.
Right. That's why
Scott Derrickson probably had a really great idea for Doctor Strange 2. And then Kevin Feige's like, you know what would be great is if we could find a way to put Spider-Man in it somehow. And Scott Derrickson's like, really, dude? And it's like, no, man, he should be in there. And then Derrick's like, well, I'm out, man. I'm gonna go make Insidious 3 or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do next.
You know what?
Or his idea was
speculation is fun,
at
man.
the end of the movie, at the end of Doctor Strange 2, he faces off with Dormammu.
No, that's amazing. Dormammu?
And Feige was like, we did that.
I know how I would introduce the mutants into the MCU. Is I wouldn't go through the MCU. I would do them on Disney Plus and do them like the Mandalorian. And you do like slow burn, like you say. You do
12 interesting idea too.
10 episodes or whatever. And
that's what I thought the mutants was. I thought it was a series. Too. It's not a series.
The what?
The mutants. The mutants.
Well, none of that was ever formally announced. Right now, it's still all speculation. They just said that that's in the works, but I never heard Disney say that that's for sure happening yet.
Interesting.
That's what I would do. I would do like one 10-episode series where you introduce the X-Men and start from the beginning, and start them wherever the hell you like. Start from
the beginning.
Start from the beginning, and
that's so far back.
Start from the beginning and give everybody what Fox never give them. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Good characterization,
You could do that in a
Again,
TV show.
After that season, and then you can open them up with a movie. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. But I'm not in charge of this stuff. You know what I mean? But then you could go real slow. You could, because it's TV. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And with this TV, you people's expectations, you can play around with that. You know what I mean? And you can just do them slow. You know what I mean? And then you kind of like the Mandalorian, where nobody had no expectations because we never know where it was going, and look what happened. You know what I mean? But I had that idea before the Mandalorian was, you know what I mean? So that might be the same trick again. So that's just one idea. You know what I mean? But you get so many ideas, so much things you can do, so many ways where you could play and you could bring them in. You know what I mean? So
I agree. Maybe they should listen more to DJ because he does have a point there. But then again, what does DJ know? He's only a comic book artist and creator. I mean, he doesn't know how to do these things. Obviously, he's not. Obviously, Jeez Louise. DJ knows exactly what he's talking about, which doesn't make sense. I think you're right, DJ. I think if you put this on the TV and if you put this on Disney Plus, it makes sense. And I think you can actually do a slow burn and then turn it into a movie, which would be kind of neat.
I think G is kissing DJ's butt.
Well, that's because DJ knows his stuff, especially when it comes to X-Men, because he's passionate about it. That's
I guess none of us know our stuff then.
No, DJ knows about
it. We don't draw Exilion.
How dare you? That's right. We don't draw Exilion. Everyone knows that Todd draws Exilion. Okay? Everyone knows that Todd Bernardi does.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, I mean, you're kind of
That's
right.
why Todd is horrible with mutants.
Anyway, Mr. Dark Knight, if you could get the new releases ready to go for Blu-ray here in just a moment. We do want to say a big thank you, of course, to DJ Kavikane for stopping by and saying his piece about
man. It
MCU.
Sounds like you're just going to get kicked off the show.
No, he's not leaving. I just want to tell him thank you before I kick him off the show. No, I'm just kidding. I am no, he's going to be sticking around to the end, of course, as we know. But
it was fun knowing you, DJ.
Get my affairs in order.
Yeah, get your affairs in order. But of course, Gannon will be have our new Blu-ray releases, our hard media releases this week.
A lot of Peter North movies.
Yeah, well, stop it. As you know, there isn't much as far as there's no huge video gaming news to share at all, other than go ahead, Alika.
They released a teaser trailer for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
they did.
I thought that was an old game and they just was bringing them back.
No, it's a new game.
Really? I thought I played that game in arcades in like the 80s.
It's in the classic style of the beat 'em ups of the original arcade games, which everybody loves.
Back, man. Those are fun. Simple.
People are upset too. Not only are we getting Shredder's Revenge, but there are people that are upset about the fact that Activision made record profits, but they are going to be firing 50 lay off more people. So people at the Activision are pretty pissed about that, and so are people that are learning
more like deactivision. Am I right?
Deactivision. That's right. Ho.
Get this guy a muffin.
Hey ho. Anyway, Gannon. As we all know, every single Tuesday is hard media. You're the hardest of hard medias. You are the king of hard media. You're the king.
Well, I mean, the older I get, I got to take pills now.
Aron is the master of hard media. Give us
why do you bring up Aron?
Because never forget, Aron is the guy that runs the show when it comes to the website or when on our Facebook page, and he gives all the info.
You mean he has lots of free time to post stuff? Why don't you just say it like that?
How dare you? Anyway, let's find out what's new this week in the world of the hardest of media.
There's not really a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah. No.
Thanks, everybody. That's the show.
Promising Young Woman came out today. Carey Mulligan movie. I haven't seen it yet. It's been getting a lot of reviews. Some good, some bad. It's a little controversial.
Can I give you my review?
What?
Can I give you my review of Promising Young Woman?
I don't care about your review.
That movie has no teeth. None whatsoever. It's not worth your time.
Wait, so it's
He's
unlike
toothless?
it's unlike the movie Teeth.
Kind of. Teeth was a better movie, to be honest
Teeth
with
is
you.
a great movie. Everybody watch the show right now should watch Teeth.
Yeah, Teeth is a good movie.
No thanks.
Teeth is
See,
fantastic.
Carl even says the cinnamon scallop rules. See, even Aaron gets love from Carl.
but Carl's a fanboy. That doesn't
Wow. All right.
Carl's got a
Everybody
great
knows
heart.
that.
He likes everybody, and I can't fault him for that.
Yeah,
I have
that's
I have a cold, dead heart, and I'm sorry.
Fair.
Moving right along. This will probably excite you, Greg. Damn Yankees from 1958.
Great movie.
See, I thought you'd say that. For an 80s kid, and Alika might spark to this, Rad, 1986.
Yeah.
Rad's good, but BMX Bandits is better.
To be honest, after all these years, I've never seen either one, believe it or not.
What?
I haven't seen either one, believe it or not.
Wow.
Moving right along. A whole lot of crap. Castle Freak, the remake of the Stuart Gordon movie that was on Shudder for a while. That's getting a Blu-ray release. I haven't seen that.
Really?
either.
Oh.
Are
you a fan of Stuart Gordon?
What?
Do you like his work? Do you like Stuart Gordon's work?
Gordon just fine, but I didn't see that.
Okay.
If anybody watched it, the first COVID movie shot during COVID and about COVID, the Michael Bay movie Songbird is coming out on Blu-ray.
Now, to be fair, he only produced. He did not direct.
Yeah, but when you watch it, it's a Michael Bay movie all the way through. I mean, it
Is
looks
that
like
the
one of his
sequel to
movies.
Bird Box?
It feels like his movie.
Yes, it's the sequel to Bird Box.
Whether he directed it or not, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like a Michael Bay movie. It has the same kind of. I mean, what's his name? The slimeball actor that's always in everything he does. That dude's in it. Come on now. Dolly Deadly. I don't know anything about this one, but this is a Troma release, so they're still alive. I just wanted to throw that out because I never bring up Troma too often.
That's cool.
And then there's two other noteworthy ones I'd like to bring up. First one being, this is a bit of an obscure Bruce Campbell movie called Running Time.
Wow.
You haven't heard of this movie, have you?
Whoa.
It's a single take kind of a film. From beginning to end, as Bruce Campbell is released from jail, immediately goes to a bank heist right afterwards, and it's a 90-minute film that just follows the whole thing in one take.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
There's
Came
been
out
a
in
couple of those lately. I've noticed.
Yeah, this one was done in '97. It wasn't quite the trend that it was then, as it's become lately. As Bruce Campbell movies go, it's actually pretty good. It's also shot in black and white, so it has a very old school feel to it.
I wonder if that one's got like samurai extras that are running and scampering back into the shot.
I wish there was.
Carl Amano says he's missing the beeping. Phormat, go pull the alarm.
And then the last one to bring up is another movie that came out through Shudder, Psycho Gorman or Gorman.
Ooh,
From The Void and stuff like that. It's okay. I mean, it's exactly what it's intended to be like. It's essentially like it's made to seem like an 80s movie that you rent at the video store that did not come out in theaters back in the day. Like it's a junk 80s VHS movie.
But is it worth a watch? Should I watch it?
I think if you're curious about it, watch it. I don't know if you'll become a huge fan of it. It does seem a little overdone to be what it's trying to be like. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it feels it feels more manufactured than genuine.
Got it.
It's kind of unavoidable considering that they're going for that vibe. But I don't know. I don't want to crap on if anybody might be interested in it. It's a fun watch. But the little girl who's basically the lead, she will divide whoever watches this movie. You're either going to think she's funny and charming, or you're going to be annoyed with her. You're not going to have a lukewarm response to the
and you were?
Huh?
And you were?
In the beginning, she was a little grating. As the movie went on, I kind of warmed to it, but I from a lot of people's reactions to the movies, like people hate the movie because of her. But it's she's a little girl. There's only so much she can do, and she's only doing what's being asked of her. But
sure.
Character, I should say, not the actress, but her character is just. If you don't get on board with that character, you're gonna hate the rest of the movie because she carries the rest of the damn movie, really.
Right. So Psycho Gorman, definite maybe, or it's
If
on
you
that.
love your nostalgic '80s movies from back in the day, like your Rubber Monster movies that you go around to the video store on a Saturday from Paradise Video, then that's your movie. You might probably like it. But yeah, I'm a little lukewarm to it. I kind of like it, but I'm not a huge fan of it. As a matter of fact, this is not going to be a pickup for me, but some folks will probably like it.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to go watch it. It looked kind of cool to me. I hope it's good. At least I hope I like it. Also, just to let you know, are you done, by the way, or is there more?
There's probably a few other things I could throw out there, but I'm not that excited about bringing them up. I do want to once again mention Mahakal is coming out on Blu-ray.
What is?
The Mahakal?
What is that?
It's the Bollywood version of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Are you serious right now?
It's getting you haven't heard of this movie? It's unashamedly a Nightmare on Elm Street, but made in India. He has the glove and everything. I'll share you the cover of it. But yeah, there's shots that are flat out ripped off from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because for a while I could not find this on DVD or anything else. This company called Cinema Massacre is putting it on Blu-ray, and I think it's actually streaming at the end of the month because I've already put in my pre-order. And they just sent me an email saying they're processing it. So I can't wait to get my hands on it because I've been wanting to watch that.
Wow, fantastic. Well, just to let you know, too, coming out digitally today, Wonder Woman 1984 is available to buy. It'll be available to rent in 2 weeks.
Yay?
No. Terrible movie.
That's why I said yay with a question mark.
Yeah. Nope, not at all. Wonder Woman 1984, terrible movie. Don't bother.
The lightning.
Also,
that movie's getting an Oscar, damn it.
Just to let you know, there's a movie that came out digitally starring Frank Grillo and Bruce Willis called Cosmic Sin. Okay?
Dude, that's not the name of the movie. It's Paycheck 2.
And it could be.
Because why would Bruce Willis show up for a piece of crap like that if not that he's getting paid?
Shut your mouth. Cosmic Sin is also out. And there's one more movie that I do want to recommend to people. Also starring Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson. It's a movie exclusively on Hulu right now. Okay, listen.
So basically, it's Frank Grillo's working with all these washed-up action heroes that can't get a theatrical movie to save their lives.
Mel Gibson and Frank Grillo in a film directed by Joe Carnahan and written by Joe Carnahan. It's exclusively on Hulu called Boss Level. Highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. You should see it. If you have
a
Hulu
account, just watch it there. It's free there.
Yeah, watch it. It's gonna be cool.
I think you said it was cool.
No, it is cool. I was gonna say, watch it. I think you'll like it. So check it out. It's exclusive. It's exclusively on Hulu.
Frank Grillo is the star.
It's no. It's Mel Gibson and Frank Grillo. It's kind of a buddy thing.
Okay, but Frank Grillo is the star. I mean, come on now.
I've got a release.
I'll bet you $1 million.
Frank Grillo and David Hasselhoff.
I gotta say, my favorite quote tonight so far has been from Kirsten. She just wanted to say my hosting is on fire tonight. Well, thank you, my dear. I certainly do appreciate it, and it makes me feel good.
She's talking about the alarm.
Oh,
she's hinting you have a venereal.
How dare you? Anyway, people,
you are a venereal.
Anyway, boys and girls, we are out of time. Next week is going to be a fun-filled Tuesday. Justice League, Falcon and the Snowman.
I almost don't want to do the show next week if Kirsten's watching.
What is that? What is that format?
It's Safeway Monopoly time again.
No. So I gotta say, what?
In case anyone was wondering, I mean, I don't know who would, but you were mentioning Wonder Woman is available digitally. So if anybody was wondering when it's hitting Blu-ray, it's March 30th.
Yeah.
Oh man,
nobody's wondering, but in case somebody was,
and just in case you were wondering as well.
I appreciate that information, Gannon. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Digitally means with
You're
your
welcome
fingers.
for my cervix.
All right, so don't forget that. All right, I think that's going to be the name of the show. Digitally means with your fingers.
Oh man, I thought it was going to be thank you. You're welcome for my cervix.
No, it's not. Anyway, we are out of time. DJ,
can it be shit show?
Can
it be shit show?
No, it cannot be. And don't
Hell
say
yeah,
that.
dude.
Yeah, you know, we can say it.
He said it because it was the title of a comic.
Okay, well,
he also said the P word.
Why is it that Alika, the guy who, Why is it that he's the only one that can control himself on the show? I don't know how this happens, but he always seems to be the guy that controls
What?
himself.
I didn't say anything.
He what himself on the show?
He can control himself. Ron says I need to do more accents.
Don't
I
make
will
me go pull the fire.
Do
alarm.
Russian.
I will do.
Greg,
Yeah.
can you do a really insulting Asian accent, please?
He's not already.
I'm going.
I can.
I'm going to refrain from doing that right now.
Oh, come on, man! I'll give you $5.
I'm going to refrain because you guys.
That's
are just
not
gonna
an
get me in
insulting
trouble.
Asian accent. I totally thought that's what that was.
What I'm doing right now? Oh, you guys are terrible.
Oh man!
What about a really like disgusting sounding European accent?
Ooh, I'll work on that. I'll work on a very distinct.
He's not already doing.
Or like do like a I'm trying to think of a country in Africa, but just do like an African accent or something.
I'm gonna pass on that one as well.
Is he not already doing one?
Can I work on my
Okay,
accent?
you know what? I'll hold back. Cross your arms again and just do a Vin Diesel speech from Fast and Furious.
Again, I live my life quarter mile at a time. How's that? Was that all right?
God damn it! I just dried out.
That's fair.
I don't even have a vagina, and I dried out.
That is fair. Anyway, big shout out and big thank you to DJ Cavalcante for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure having you on, sir. DJ Cavalcante.
Churning.
you can check out his comic books at Maui Comics as well. His comic book is Exilian. He is the creator of Exilian. He also works on or works alongside some great comic book artists from the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance. DJ, your latest comic that you're working on right now is actually with those guys, isn't it? What are you working on?
Right now, oh my God, I'm working.
Wait, did I open up a can of worms? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Right now, I'm working on issue 6 of Exilian, and then I'm working on I don't know if I can announce them yet. Well, yeah, I can announce them. It's just us. It's for Chris Cavalli and his Mana Comics, and he can do Mana Legends, and he's gonna do King Kamehameha when he was young. So that's gonna be
super cool. If you guys want to check out their work, I believe you guys have a Facebook, Hawaii Comic Book Alliance. Yes, you guys have a Facebook page.
No, not anymore.
No?
I'm picturing it's gonna be like Phantom Menace. So it's
you
gonna
can
be
actually,
King Kamehameha, but he's gonna be a pod racer. It's gonna be pretty great.
Are you guys doing it? Is he doing it? Is anybody doing a Kickstarter for that at all? Or is this all just independent work?
I think he's gonna do Kickstarter afterwards. I think so. And I'm doing Kickstarter too.
Chris, he normally does.
Yeah,
for Exilian? For issue 6?
I'm gonna start again at 1. Sorry.
If you guys don't know about Exilian,
check out my Kickstarter when it comes out.
Exilian is a very exciting comic book series. DJ Cavalcante relates it to one of his favorite comic book series, of course, X-Men, set in the time of the Knights of the Round Table. Very cool stuff. Check out DJ Cavalcante if you're looking for it. Maui Comics has got it. Of course, DJ Cavalcante is on the Big Island, and you can check out his comics there if you're over there as well, over at Enjoy Comics too. So check them out. DJ Cavalcante, and a tremendously talented local artist. And if there's a guy that Marvel does need to hire who has a great backlog of knowledge as well as a great artist, it's DJ Cavalcante. You heard it here first. I'm writing his resume, and I'm also his agent. Anyway, we are out of time. So
I wish you're cool enough to be his agent.
I am. By the way, I'm also the agent for the minorities. If you want to book them for your next party or venue, you can give me a call. The minorities, a great punk.
What are we, birthday clowns?
Do you guys do bar mitzvahs? That'd be awesome.
Book them for your next party.
That's right. Or bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, whichever one comes first. Anyway, we are out of time, boys and girls. So for my favorite people, every Tuesday, it is NERDWatch. And next week, DJ, if you want to get in on it, next week, we're talking about and reviewing the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Falcon and the Snowman next week as well, a review of the first episode. It's going to be spectacular. You're not going to want to miss out on it. So for DJ Cavalcante, for Alika of Maui Comics, for Phormat, and of course our producer, seducer Kai, and the
Never
one and
produces
only
anything.
Dark Knight Gannon. I am G Money. Peace out. Much love, and most assuredly, always stay nerdy. And we'll see you back here next week, only on the Nerd Watch. Aloha.
Smegma.
All right, chat. We're out of here. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks to Kirsten and Ron and Carl and anybody else who I happen to miss. Love you guys. And we will see you next week. Kirsten, we want you back next week as well. And Ron, want you guys back next week. It'll be a lot of fun.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. We are out of time. Aloha.